Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Public Works for May 22nd, 2025. Roll call.
Val Gomez.
Present.
Weena Guzman.
Present.
Frank Rivera.
Present.
Okay, next on our agenda, we have the minutes of the regular meeting of Thursday, May 8th, 2025. I'd like to make a motion to approve as written.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We have no correspondence. Move on to new business. First item on our agenda is from Public Works. It is from Martinez Construction. It is for a remodel of Fire Station number 5. We have the invoice from Martinez Construction. It is for $52,900. It seems to be sort of like a remodeling, removing carpeting, tiles, drywall, painting, replacing damaged tiles. There was only one quote. I spoke with Public Works Director Jalen Robinson and the fire department. I think the reason for one quote, it was a matter of time. I guess when the fire department went to speak with the mayor about this issue, well, and just to give you a little in advance, Fire Station number 2 is no longer used by the fire department. The Superior Ambulance is using it. So the fire department depends on Superior Ambulance to give them any information on repairs, and it's their contract. That's one of the locations that we allow them to run out of. And apparently when there was an issue with their overhead door, and when they went there, they found all kinds of other issues. So then when the department reported to the mayor, the priority was the door, but it's funny, it's not on here. But when the mayor saw all the rest of the things, he told Public Works, make it a priority. Public Works, when, from my understanding, went from Jalen Robinson, they called several contractors, but they told them, it specified that it had to be started quickly. Matter of fact, it's supposed to start next week. So that was a stipulation on right now, the reason we only have that one bid. I asked Jalen if he could send us the list of the people they called and send it to the fire department, because Mark's going to work with him on that. Okay? Just a little information on why we only have the one right there. Are there any other questions or comments? No?
No.
There being no other questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion accepting Public Works proposal from Martinez Construction for the remodeling of Fire Station number 5 for the amount of $52,900.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Thank you. Okay, next on our agenda, we have a donation list from our team cleanup that Public Works conducted a few days ago. And the donation list is from companies that donated to the event. First one is from Servicescape out of Michigan City. They donated 39 assorted muffins. Next one is from Cintas out of Hammond, Indiana. They donated 100 breakfasts and 250 lunches. Then we have from Frank O. Carlson and Company out of East Chicago, Indiana. They donated $600 for pole banners, A-frame signs, and stickers. And next we have from Great Lakes Landscaping. They donated 4 dozen Dunkin' Donuts. And then Post Technology out of Maryville donated Girl Scout cookies. And that's from our cleanup event. I guess, any questions or comments on this?
No.
So
Just
I'd like
think-
to...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'd just like to state that, just make a comment that it's a great event, well organized, and
Mhm.
I'd like to thank these vendors for partaking. It's a great event.
Okay.
I second that.
Okay, thank you, Lena, for that. Make a motion, we accept the donation list for the team of cleanup event. You second?
Yeah, I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next on our agenda, we have the 2025 rate table for Hammond Fence. This came to us from Public Works. It has a not to exceed of $50,000 for Public Works and $50,000 for other departments. And this is basically a blanket for any repairs to any fence in the city if we have any issues during the year. Any questions or comments on this one?
No.
No.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd make a motion accepting Public Works proposal from Hammond Fence with a not to exceed of $50,000.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have from Divine Land, also from Public Works. It is from Divine Landscaping. It is for the Columbus Drive runabout. It's a landscaping to be updated. They do have a second quote. Divine's quote is for $29,200. The second quote is from Great Lakes Landscaping. It is for $29,335. So they beat them out by $135. And there are pictures on what they're going to do. And they go into detail in their invoice. Looks pretty nice in the pictures. Any questions or comments?
No.
I look forward to seeing it.
Pardon me?
I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I must have a little picnic on that thing, you know? Okay, so there being no further question or comments, I can make a motion accepting Public Works proposal from Divine Landscaping for the Columbus Drive runabout.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, now we come to outstanding invoices. We have 8. The first one is our practice. I will read each one individually, then we'll make a motion at the end. The first one is from Cintas from Public Works. They have one late invoice dated 2/14/2025 in the amount of $70.57. And the explanation is invoice was not received from Cintas until 5/6/2025. Any questions or comments on this one?
No.
I'd just like to note that they removed the sales tax. So it was $75.51, now it's down to $70.50.
Oh, they did move it.
They
Oh, I
did.
thought, okay, I thought you meant
It's listed
on the invoice? Okay, I thought you meant it was still on there. Okay. Next one is also from Public Works. It is for Green Tree Environment. They have a late invoice dated 12/26/2024, the amount of $650. Explanation, invoice was received in the mail from Green Tree Environmental on 5/6/2025. Any questions or comments on this one? Okay, next we have also Public Works, Calumet City Plumbing. They have one late invoice dated 12/17/2024 in the amount of $979.30. Explanation, invoice was originally sent to incorrect department. Public Works received the invoice on 5/15/2025. Any questions or comments on this one?
No.
Okay. Okay, next we have a late invoice from IT department. It is with Midwest Electric. They have a late invoice dated invoice date 3/31/24. And it also says polls were delivered on 3/15/24. The amount was $16,640. Explanation, an invoice for payment of the poles that were purchased was never submitted upon delivery. Okay, so that's why it was late. They didn't do anything about the poles. Any questions or comments?
No.
Okay, next we have from the engineering department. This is from the vendor is Short Elliott Hendrickson. We have 5 late invoices. We have 3 that are dated 2/17/24 and 2 that are dated 3/14/25. Total amount is $30,439.39. The explanation is the invoices were accidentally overlooked. Any questions or comments?
No.
Okay, there be no further questions or comments. We'll move on to the next one. Next one is from Hassie Construction, from the engineering department again. There are 2 late invoices, both dated 1/31/25, for a total of $69,989.88. Explanation is engineering department did not receive the invoice until 5/7/2025. The engineering firm didn't approve the invoice right away. By the time an approval letter was submitted, the invoice was late. Any questions or comments?
No.
Okay. Okay, next we have also from engineering from Comcate, 1 late invoice dated 4/1/2024. Amount is $5,724.46. Explanation is Comcate never sent the amended contract with the invoice. It was requested several times prior to submitting, but at the time the amended contract was received, the invoice was late. They sent the previous agreement and current agreement at the same time. And the amount was $5,724.46. Any comments?
No.
Okay. Okay, the last one is from the police department. It is vendor's Radar Man. The invoice's date is 10/2/2024. The amount is $746. Explanation, please excuse the attached late invoice. It was not emailed to the service division until recently, despite numerous attempts to request same. Okay. Any questions or comments?
No.
Okay, there being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving for payment the aforementioned 8 late invoices. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, that concludes our late outstanding invoices. We'll move on to Lexpol agreement with the police department. We have the Chicago Police Department request the approval of the attached Lexpol agreement. The agreement supports the maintenance of the ECPD Rules and Regulations Manual. This manual is the lifeblood to the daily law enforcement operations. The agreement will allow officers digital access to the manual as well as merges current procedures with updated supplemental manuals and daily training bulletins. Funding has been secured within the police department general budget. The amount is not to exceed $26,549.88. And they do have their invoice attached, which breaks down the different supplements and procedures and manuals that they get out of this. Any questions or comments?
No.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving the police department's proposal from Lexpod with Lexpod's agreement.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have from the building department, from Calumet Waste and Recycling, their hydro seeding. Building department request approved proposal submitted by Calumet Waste and Recycling for hydro seeding. Grading per lot, price per square foot is $1.37, not to exceed $150,000. I did talk to our building director, James Bartello, and I asked him, we only have one proposal. He said he forgot to submit the sole proprietary form. This is the company that's been doing all the seeding for demolitions throughout the city. As you know, the mayor made it a part of his plan when he first came in and we demolished a building to seed the area. So instead of just having rocks or trash, we actually seed every lot. So he said he would get that to you, this little proprietary form. Any questions or comments?
No.
Okay, there being no further questions or comments, I'll make a motion accepting building department's request for Calumet Waste and Recycling's hydro seeding program.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have from the fire department, This is for Star Uniform. This is for uniforms for their new firefighters. They are 3 of them, I believe, they're getting, with a not to exceed of $7,500. They do have the sole proprietary form attached, because this is the Star Uniform is the retailer. They get all the uniforms for the new entries. Any questions or comments?
No.
Okay, there being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion accepting Star Uniform's proposal for the fire department.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have also from the fire department, we have a letter from this is for Legacy Fire, it's repairs for engine 2814. We have a letter from the fire chief. Dear board members, please consider my request to approve repairs for engine 2814. Legacy Fire Apparatus has identified several issues regarding engine 2814. Attached, you will find an estimated total cost of repair is $8,173.93. We have allocated funds in the vehicle repair and maintenance. I spoke to the deputy chief, and the vehicle was in there for repairs, and they kept it there when they discovered these additional things they had to correct. Any questions or comments?
No.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving Legacy's fire repair for additional repairs to engine 2814.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next one, the fire department. And here. We just did yours, James. You had the form? Oh, yep, you're better than I thought. Okay. Thank you, James. Mhm. Man, we just talked about it like 5 minutes ago. Okay, you gonna be here? Okay. We gotta edit that out of the film. Okay, next we have 2 donation checks for the fire department. One is from Capital Steel, it's with a K instead of a C, for $150. And the other one is from Refractory Services Corporation, and this one's for $500, and they're both for the fire department's annual programs. We have copies of the checks from both, and they have been deposited in their promotional account. Any questions or comments on these 2 donation checks?
No.
There be no questions or comments, I can make a motion accepting the 2 donation checks for the fire department.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have from our IT department. This is the company Service Express. It's a renewal from IT department. We do have a description from our IT director, Kevin Klosak. IT department Service Express hardware support. This agreement for Service Express supports applies to our server equipment located at City Hall and the public safety facility. This agreement is for 36 months from 7/1/2025 to 6/30/2028. Service Express will invoice the city biannually. The annual current cost of the support based on our current hardware is to be included is $12,566.40. This amount may fluctuate without penalty based on the removal or addition of any server hardware at City Hall and at the public safety facility. Okay. As I said, the amount is $12,566.40. Any questions or comments on this proposal?
No.
Okay, there being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion approving IT's request for Service Express's hardware support.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we come to from the law department. It is JFW contract addendum. to the contract. We have let me see this one here. Okay, this administrative service agreement made on this 22nd day of May 2025 is binding between the City of East Chicago, the employer, and ONB Benefits Administration, LLC, DBA, JWF Specialty Company, and Indiana Limited Liability Company, the administrator. Each reference to herein individually as party or collectively as the parties. JWF is in the business of providing claim administration services to its clients, which includes employers who are subject to workers' compensation regulations in their respective states and may have related property and casualty coverage and exposure. The City of Chicago appoints and authorizes JWF to provide claims administration services described herein in connection with claims and losses under the policies that insurance issued. Just for the record, I spoke with the law department, and even though the agreement mentions employees' workers' compensation, they will be concentrating mostly on related property and casualty programs. They have another company for workman's comp, and that's through HR. So law department's only handling the property and casualty. The terms of agreement, the term of this agreement shall commence February 15, 2025, and shall terminate February 14, 2026. I did speak to them about this date also, whether they wanted us to put the date of May to, this 2026. They told me to keep this date because they were working through the previous contract. Even though there weren't any terms about continuing in the previous contract. Okay, the compensation set there in addendum 1. And the addendum calls for the employer shall pay administrator monthly per claim fee, the claim service fee for services provided each month during the term. The employer shall pay monthly claim service fee no later than the first day of each applicable month. The parties agree that the claim service fee is consideration for services provided by the administrator for the life of any claims reported during the term, in respect of termination of the agreement, but expressly subject to Section B of this addendum. The one thing they wanted me to, the law department wanted me to emphasize is C. The employer shall pay the administrator annual administrative service fee of $24,000. The annual administration fee for services provided the first year of the term. The initial annual administration fee will be paid in full upon inception of the agreement. Thereafter, the employer shall pay the annual administration fee no later than 30 days following each anniversary of the effective date. And right underneath that, we have the annual claim fee, we have the schedule, we have their pricing for different types of claim. And also there's an additional miscellaneous fee, subrogation recovery of 25% of our recoveries. That was all the law department wanted me to emphasize. It does have the various sections in the agreement. Is there any questions or comments or anything our attorney would like to add? Or
No.
We're good? Any other questions or comments from the commissioners?
No.
Okay, there be no further questions or comments, I can make a motion from the law to approve the law department's agreement with JFW.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Motion passes. Okay, next on our agenda, we have from Benny Concrete and Tree Service, we have the 2025 concrete and asphalt rates. This is the rate schedule. basically it has for concrete, it's $10 a square foot. Concrete curves, $25. And concrete curb and gutter, $36. Any questions or comments on this?
No.
Was there not to exceed on here? $150,000, thank you. Okay, not to exceed $150,000. Any questions or comments?
No.
There being no further questions or comments, I have to make a motion approving Benny Concrete and Tree Service rate schedules for concrete and asphalt for 2025.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have from Comcake, this is from engineering. This is amendments to their contract for 2024 through 2025 and the contract from 2025 to 2026. The amendment basically is a cost of living of 5% on each one. If you look on the different Exhibit A and on the bottom, it'll say per agreement, the annual license fee is adjusted by a cost of living of 5%, and their agreement reflects that on there. So they have two in our paperwork, one for 2024-25, one for 2025-26. Any questions or comments on this amendment?
No.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion of approving the engineering department's request for Comcake's amendments of 5% cost of living.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next we come to right-of-way applications. We have right-of-way applications number 25-05028 through 25-05050. Any questions or comments on these right-of-way applications?
No.
There being no further questions or comments, I can make a motion accepting the aforementioned right-of-way applications.
Aye.
Aye?
Yes.
Aye, aye. There being no further questions or comments, I can motion to approve the right-of-way applications. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. That concludes all our items under new business. We have no other business. Our next regular meeting will be Thursday, June 12th, 2025 at 4:30 p.m.
No.
Yes?
Are we entertaining any
Bids.
information on the proposals?
You mean from last meeting?
Yes.
We did make a motion accepting them with the recommendation we get the paperwork. In fact, I think it's, if you look at the minutes, I think it's on page 27 or something like that. Where we made the motion for concrete and,
Yes. And
now, do you have a comment? Did you get to review them? Any questions? Anything you want changed on there?
My understanding is that you all approved the recommendations of our city engineer, subject to an internal review of the documents that were
Right,
presented.
so, I know Olga sent us the documents the other day. Did everybody get a chance to review them? I mean, is there any issues you want to bring up, or?
I think that it seems, the tally sheet was submitted, I
Mhm.
think is what you all asked for, and it is clear which two companies should be awarded the bid based on the lowest, most responsible bidder. I would just say that maybe it'd be subject to them providing a non-collusion or signing and notarizing a non-collusion affidavit.
Right.
To keep in step with the state requirements.
So we actually discussed that a little bit before the meeting. And I hope Julio understood that we would like that when they're going to do a bid and they're going to submit a bid package before they even submit it, if we could get a copy of it so we could see the bid package beforehand. So,
Yeah, I also thought you said to give you a list of the names that he sends materials to.
right, even the ones that don't bid.
Right.
Right, so we wanted that information. I think Olga made a note of that in our meeting, so I'm hopeful Julio will follow through on this. If not, we have all day. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments?
No.
Okay. Did I make the motion for adjournment?
No.
No, not yet? Okay, so since that concludes all our items for tonight, I'd like to make a motion for adjournment.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.